And we are live. Welcome back to Takes by Fans. We got a great show for you today. As always, we are live every single day at noon Eastern. If you want to watch live, head over to twitch.tv/takesbyfans. If you want to watch but not live, head over to our YouTube channel, Takes by Fans. We post all of our shows and clips of the show there on a daily basis. And if you just want to listen, we are on podcasting apps, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio. So, however you want to watch or listen, we've got you covered in multiple ways. Alrighty, today's a big old Wednesday, folks. And man, oh man, what a great night in the NBA last night. Great games all around. Well, really kind of the best game that wasn't even on TV last night. Bucks at the 76ers, and man, oh man, that truly lived up to that game. I mean, those are two juggernauts in the Eastern Conference, and it came down to the wire. We picked the right winner. We went on the money line. We won't toot our own horn just quite yet. We'll wait a little bit when we get to that matchup to do that. But great night in the NBA. We got the points with the Pistons. Stop loving the Nets, folks. Stop loving the Nets. So just a great day overall. So today on the show, we'll be breaking down the NBA from last night, betting on the NBA tonight, and once again, catching up on all these NFL stories, folks, because once again, there's more stories to talk about, and folks, we must get to these stories because there's one story, we're going to start with it once we get to the NFL, but man, this is like the funniest story I think we'll ever read on the show. I can't wait for it, and I can't wait for more quotes. I don't even know if there's more quotes to it, but the quote that we do have, the kind of clickbait quote, it is the funniest thing, folks. It revolves around the Colts, it revolves around Carson Wentz, and I'll just do the one last hint here. It's the complete opposite of what we heard Frank Reich say a couple days ago on the show, saying, hey, to use Carson Wentz as a scapegoat, that's unfair. Well, the owner thinks it's perfectly fair, and it's going to be hilarious, so cannot wait to get to that. We got Lamar Jackson. Oh my goodness. Well, we just saw what happened with Kyler Murray is happening to kind of potentially Lamar Jackson as well. So tons of stuff to talk about today. Probably won't get to Malik Willis, so temper down those expectations because once again we've got to clear our catalog of backlog stories, and we got to get to the stories that just broke today because they are truly comical, folks. So gonna be a great show. Let's kick it off. Let's start with the NBA, then we'll transition to the NFL. So let's get things started here, and let's start with the NBA. And before we start breaking down any games, we do have an update on Robert Williams, folks, the center for the Boston Celtics that could potentially derail the entire great season that the Celtics have had. But we got information on him, and it's not great. Robert Williams, torn meniscus, has undergone surgery and is expected to miss 4 to 6 weeks. 4 to 6 weeks. We got about 2 weeks left in the NBA. I mean, you get kind of a series lasting a week, so he's potentially out the 2 weeks for the rest of the regular season, potentially the first 2 series in the playoffs if they make it that far, and that's just at the minimum. So man, oh man, Celtics are truly going to have to overcome no Robert Williams for most likely the remainder of the season. Still some hope, but I mean, the quickest he could return is maybe the Eastern Conference Finals, and man, oh man. It's going to be truly disappointing not having Robert Williams out there. We'll see how good Daniel Tice can, make do. Hopefully Al Horford's got some more left in his tank because he's going to have to do his production and some now. Maybe they even move Al Horford to the 5, move Daniel Tice to the 4, or maybe they even do something crazy like Al Horford at the 5, Tatum at the 4, Jaylen Brown at the 3, Derek White at the 2, keeping Marcus Smart at the 1. I mean, the Celtics team is going to have to get creative with this lineup, but luckily we do have their head coach, Ime Udoka, who could put it all together. He's been fantastic this entire season. Can this man do one last magic trick for the Celtics team for them to overcome no Robert Williams? So let's see what the lineups are going to be. Once ever, because we have had one game without Robert Williams, but remember, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Al Horford, They all took the night off, still only lost by 3 in overtime. Yes, sir. But we'll see what their actual lineup is going to be once all their starters are ready to go, because I think I play around with that. I play around Marcus Smart at the 1, Derek White at the 2, Jaylen Brown at the 3, Jason Tatum at the 4, Al Horford at the 5. We get Daniel Tice coming off the bench. We get Peyton Pritchard coming off the bench, Aaron Nesmith coming off the bench. I mean, that's kind of what we're looking at here. Grant Williams coming off the bench as well. This is kind of what we need to prepare for the Celtics team, and hopefully they can make it all work together. But in Celtics, we trust. In Green, we trust. In Jason Tatum superstar status, we trust. We trust they get it done still. So Robert Williams missing 4 to 6 weeks. Hopefully the Celtics are still in the playoffs and he can return and win the ring and all that, and we can all be celebrating the Celtics at the end of the year. So Robert Williams out 4 to 6 weeks. Could be worse. Wish it was better, but this is what we got. All right, that was the only news that we had to really talk about in the NBA, so now let's start talking about what happened game-wise, action-wise last night, and we're starting to get these teams competitive. Fantastic. Was it just about a week and a half, 2-week stretch of all these teams kind of being lackluster? Are they out of that funk? Are they truly ready to kind of bring it home, the final 6-8 games of the regular season? Because we're getting great matchups. We're getting teams taking care of business last night, taking care of business tonight. Bulls winning, Bulls on the back-to-back and winning and getting it done. Well done. That's what we wanted to see. Better late than never. But let's start doing it a little bit earlier. Yes, but teams are starting to turn around. This is what we've been wanting. This is what we've been clamoring for. This is what we've been asking for. This is a little bit of what we've been demanding a little bit from the teams, and we're starting to finally get it. So hey, that's what we're talking about. Love seeing it, the competitive nature, teams trying to fight for spots, and that's all we could ask for down the back end stretch, crunch time stretch of the regular season. So last night we had about 4 or 5 games on, handful of games. We had 2 bets going. We had the Bucks on the money line. We didn't take Vegas's 1.5. We wanted the great value. We wanted the money line at plus 100, not plus 1.5 points at minus 110. What is that? Give me the value, and it pays off. Bucks get the outright win, winning 118 to 116. In this game, a little bit came down to the conditioning. What was our biggest concern about the 76ers not getting it done down the stretch? Was our kind of biggest green light on this Bucks team getting it down, closing out games down the stretch, and that's exactly what happened in the fourth quarter, folks. Bucks outscored the 76ers 37 to 27 just in the fourth quarter alone. This 76ers team was leading for, I don't want to say the majority of the game. I mean, we had 13 lead changes. It's not like the 76ers were getting blown out. No, they were leading and having leads and all that, but the fourth quarter came and the Bucks stepped it up and the 76ers didn't, which is kind of classic what we get. Let's just take the superstars. Here we go. Chris Middleton and Giannis in the fourth quarter, folks. This is what they did. They shot 78% on 9 shots just in the fourth quarter alone. The superstars of the Bucks, Giannis and Chris Middleton. And then for the superstar of the 76ers, Joel Embiid and James Harden, in the fourth quarter, they shot 40%, 4 of 10 from the field. That's the difference. Bucks able to close out in the fourth quarter. We know that. We see that. That's why they're so good. And our concerns of the 76ers not being able to close out in the fourth quarter to play a full 48 minutes of basketball at the highest level. That's not what this team is, and it's truly unfortunate. And even the Giannis left the door open for the 76ers to tie up the game. We got a 118-116 2-point Bucks lead with 10 seconds left, and Giannis missed a free throw. That's why it's only a 2-point lead and not a 3-point lead at this point. But 76ers have a chance to tie up the game, down 2 with 8 seconds left. James Harden's going to attempt a step back 3. That doesn't cash, but Joel Embiid goes and gets the offensive rebound, puts up a shot, but it's mother-loving Giannis there to block it, and that's the game. That's the game right there. Bucks digging down late, winning the game. Bucks win by 2, 118-116 over the 76ers. We hit our bet, Bucks on the money line, and the Bucks continue to prove why they are such a force in this league. They are good. They are down going into the fourth quarter. Doesn't matter. They have a lead going into the fourth quarter. It doesn't matter. They dig down deep in the fourth quarter. This is a dangerous team to play, and we see it on a nightly basis. Well done for the Bucks of getting the giant win over the 76ers team, winning 118-116. Now, Giannis did his thing absolutely. 40 points, 14 rebounds, 6 assists, magnificent. Chris Middleton doing his thing, 22 points, 7 assists, 9 rebounds, love it. Brook Lopez, 17 points, only 3 rebounds, but Giannis was, busy cleaning up the board. So, Brook Lopez giving us 17 points, yes, sir, absolutely love that. Jrue Holiday doing his thing, 18 points, 10 assists, double, yes, and then 8 rebounds to go along with that. So, everything was fantastic. We had actually Grayson Allen coming off the bench, Wesley Matthews in the starting lineup. Wesley Matthews didn't do anything great. 5 points, 3 rebounds on 5 shots. So, not that much of an upgrade over Grayson Allen. Grayson Allen had a solid night coming off the bench. 10 points, 4 rebounds. That's a little bit what he does on a nightly basis a little bit. So, Grayson Allen off the bench in the starting lineup doesn't matter. And then look at this, folks. Pat Connaughton, only 2 points on 1 of 5 shooting off the bench here, folks. We're not going to be able to rely on Pat Connaughton like that. I like Deontay DiVincenzo better than Pat Connaughton. Once again, guard play coming off the bench could be a little bit lackluster. And once again, Serge Ibaka, who they traded for, got rid of Dante DiVincenzo for. The man's playing 3 minutes off the bench. Once again, a little bit of an overreaction there with Brook Lopez being out at the time, but we knew he was going to come back soon. And then they trade their guard depth for big depth, and now they're not even using their big depth. That's kind of the overall point we were trying to make there. So, Bucks, absolutely huge, giant win last night that we called. But they get the win by 2, 118-116. And then for the 76ers last night, Joel Embiid did his thing, 29 points, 14 rebounds, 7 assists. James Harden, 32 points, 9 assists, 5 rebounds. So the Stars, they showed out last night, don't get us wrong. And this is kind of what we can expect to see in the playoffs. And this is kind of what I hope we can see in the playoffs if these two teams face each other. Close game, right down to the wire. Stars digging in deep to get the win. Yeah, that's all. I mean, that's what we love here on the show. Competition. See the best of the best go at it. And this is what it was last night. In this game wasn't on national television. We had to endure a LeBron James-less Lakers team get absolutely smacked by the Dallas Mavericks. That's what we had to watch. That's what we had to endure. Not a potential preview of the Eastern Conference Finals. All right, NBA, if that's your prerogative. I don't like it. I don't like it at all, but that's what we had to deal with last night. So the Stars got it done. Tyrese Maxey let us down last night. He had 7 points on 27% shooting. Got to definitely get those numbers up. Tobias Harris had a pretty solid night and actually went kind of a little manic in the fourth quarter. I mean, I think the man shot like 7 of 9 in the fourth quarter, something like that. So he got it done. 22 points, 11 rebounds, shot 52%, 6 assists, 3 steals to go along with all of that. Just unfortunately, they couldn't be clutch. James Harden couldn't hit that step back 3 to take the lead. Joel Embiid gets blocked by Giannis to tie up the game, and that's the game. So just close like that. But the Bucks, they've got the experience. They've won the ring. They know longevity in the playoffs and what it means to win the ring and what it takes to win the ring and all that. So that's why these teams, the last few, that's why kind of the Bucks and the Suns are kind of the most dangerous, because they're a great team. They're a great team last season. They have continued that greatness from last season to this season, but now they've got that extra added experience in the playoffs and in the finals and all that, where the 76ers, they don't have that. They don't have finals experience. James Harden doesn't have finals experience. He's got ghosts in the playoffs. That's his experience. Ghosts. Same thing with Joel Embiid. He's been a little bit more successful production-wise in the playoffs, but the 76ers holding him back. Ben Simmons holding him back. And even a little bit of Doc Rivers holding this 76ers team back. I'm still concerned. I'm bringing up my concern back that Doc Rivers is going to be fit in the playoffs. So everything's kind of working against the 76ers at this current moment. And, they did not do anything to kind of dispel all of those kind of knocks and concerns that we have on them. They didn't do anything to really dispel that last night, not getting it done late in the fourth quarter. So what an absolute game. Bucks deserve a ton more respect, and we're truly going to be kind of focusing in on this one matchup. This one matchup alone is going to weigh heavy, very, very heavy in our power rankings once we reorder those on Friday. And I think I'm good to say this now, that just the way that these teams have been playing and competing, we don't have to do only a top 3. We are keeping our top 10 in our power rankings good and solid, folks. We will rank 10 teams and not cut it down to only 3, because these teams are showing out and showing up on a consistent basis now. This is what we asked for. Y'all are giving it to us, so fantastic. Y'all get the top 10. So well done, which is probably good for the 76ers because they wouldn't be in the top 3 anyway, so that's kind of good for the 76ers that they'll be on the list somewhere. I don't know how high, but they will be on the list because they're easily top 10, easily. So, Bucks get a giant win last night, 118-116. We took them on the money line, bingo, bango. That is pick 1 of 1, but we had one more last night. All right, next game up here, we get the Bulls at the Wizards, and thank goodness, Bulls. Thank goodness, Chicago. You got it done here. Yes, it's on the back-to-back, but we knew this was a must-win game for the Bulls, and they ended up taking care of business. A little bit of a close game, decently throughout. They really got it done in the fourth quarter and win 107-94. Nice double-digit win for this Bulls team. It's about damn time. DeMar DeRozan, 32 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists. Classic DeMar DeRozan game. Zach LaVine did play last night. Nothing great. 14 points, 4 rebounds, a little bit lackluster. Vucevic, 27 points, only 5 rebounds, though. What the heck is up with that? We had Alex Caruso and Ayo at the 1 and 2. Alex Caruso, 2 points, 4 assists. Come on, can we get Kobe White in the starting lineup, please? Ayo, 4.6 assists. Once again, can we get Kobe White in the starting lineup, please? Kobe White coming off the bench, 9 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds, a plus 18 on the floor in 29 minutes. Yes. Alex Caruso played 28 minutes, a plus 9. He doubled that. Ayo played 26 minutes, a plus 3. Quadrupled that, quintupled that, sextupled that. Yes. So can we just get Kobe White? He had a little bit of a two bad game stretch on the bench. The man doesn't not get it done in the starting lineup. I think that's the change the Bulls needs to make, but they're still rocking with Caruso and Ayo. Alrighty. Tristan Thompson had a okay night, 4 points, 3 rebounds. Like to see Tristan Thompson, utilized a little bit more, but a nice solid backup big for this Bulls team. So they get the win. It was only against the Wizards with no Kyle Kuzma, and get this, folks. Get this. Porzingis didn't even... Oh, no, Porzingis did play last night. My bad. I retract that. But here we go. Porzingis last night, only 14 points, 10 rebounds. It's basically like he didn't play last night. That's nothing great. A double-double, we give him credit, but, we saw what he did the other night. Fantastic. This one, not so much. We had Rui Hachimura, who I thought was out. Once again, we're getting the game time decisions. They're not the game time decisions. They're telling us the route they're actually in. We gotta somehow get it all together here, NBA, because y'all want to promote all the betting, but then are giving us a little bit of false news, allowing teams to kind of put out these false news here. Let's get this a little bit under control. Yes, let's make a deadline where everything must go, no more changes by, 4 p.m. or something like that, or do it a little bit earlier, but all these kind of last seconds in and out, last second changes, oh no, they're not on the kind of injury report, and now they are. Let's fix that, okay? But Rui Hachimura did play last night. 21 points, 4 rebounds. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, 20 points, 3 rebounds. And then Denny Avdija coming off the bench, 14 points. And just everything a little bit lackluster. They didn't put up 100 points. The Bulls got it done. Losing against the Bulls isn't even that's not even a good loss anymore. You know what I mean? Not that it was ever really a good loss, but man, Wizards. Not a good team. We know that. Porzingis can't get it done himself. Bulls get the win, 107-94. Alrighty, next game up here, folks, and are y'all ready for this? This was the Nets team that we're supposed to all be afraid of, only beating the Pistons by 7 points when we got plus 14 last night. Plus 14 in the Pistons. They had a nice 6-7 point lead going into halftime, and the Nets only came back because Kevin Durant said, all right, I'm done with the nonsense, and kind of took over a little bit, commanded the ball, was just rising up over everybody, shooting over them like we know Kevin Durant does, and they ended up winning by only 7 points. This is the Nets team we're all supposed to be afraid of. This is kind of the monster under the bed here. It's the Nets. My kid tells me, "Hey, Dad, oh no, there's a monster under my bed," and I pull up the sheets and I'm like, "Hang on, what the heck? The Nets? The Nets are the monster you're afraid of? The hell are you talking about? This isn't a monster. This is a clown, and not it or a scary clown or anything like this. A friendly clown. I honk him on the nose. No, this isn't a monster. It's a clown." And the Nets are the current clowns of the league. They're the clowns of the league currently. So, Nets get the win, 130 to 123. Pistons keeping it competitive, being in the lead, being in the driver's seat at halftime with no Jeremy Grant. This is the Nets team we're supposed to be afraid of? All right, Vegas, keep falling for this brainwashing. I'm telling you, folks, there's a giant brainwashing campaign that's going on with the Nets. We just told y'all. We're showing you evidence every single day of people still highly putting this Nets team on a pedestal. This is brainwashing. This is propaganda. It's Nets propaganda. And Vegas is falling for it, which, hey, that's fine because we're cashing out. Pistons plus 14. I mean, folks, Pistons plus 14. Come on. Do you know how great value that was yesterday that we told you all about? Absolutely fantastic. So, all right, keep buying into the Nets propaganda. They're brainwashing. We won't have our brains scrubbed over here, folks. We love the Pistons. We know they're competitive. We know they're great. Well, they can be great. They show glimpses of being great, and Cade Cunningham showed glimpses of being great last night. 34 points, 6 assists, shooting 5 of 11 from 3, getting it done. Isaiah Stewart at the 5, 15 points, 11 rebounds. Love that, absolutely. Sadiq Bey, 15 points, 4 assists, 4 rebounds. Yes, sir. Marvin Bagley filling in for Jeremy Grant at the 4, 11 points, 5 rebounds. Yeah, I mean, it's efficient, 83%. Jeremy Grant's not that efficient. He doesn't always put up more points than 11 points. So, yeah, Marvin Bagley doing a little bit of a solid Jeremy Grant impression. And then off the bench, Kelly Olynyk, 8 points, 8 assists, 3 rebounds. Killian Hayes, 13 points, 4 steals, 4 rebounds. Frank Jackson, 11 points in 16 minutes. Everybody stepping it up here for this Pistons team to put up 123 points, and that's the only way the Nets can win, when their offense goes manic like it did. Kevin Durant went manic in the second half, and that's the only reason why they win. They have no defense. They can't cover anybody. They gave up 123 points to this Pistons team. We like the Pistons, but giving up 123 points is unexcusable, unacceptable. But we're all supposed to be afraid of this Nets team, not the Bucks that close out defensively in the fourth quarter, final possession. Did we all just not see that Giannis block on Joel Embiid for the win? The Nets aren't doing that. Nobody's getting a game-winning block for the win. No, of course not. But we're all supposed to be afraid of this team. Stop the brainwashing, folks. Stop falling for the brainwashing. Besides Vegas, I'll keep cashing out. Absolutely. So, Nets get the win, but they don't cover the 14. Not even close of covering the 14. No. It's not like the Nets were up by 30 all game and the Pistons came back. No, the Pistons were in the driver's seat the entire game long, and the Nets were at home. Oh, the fans, they got no fans. The fans aren't cheering for the Brooklyn Nets. That's not giving them the hype and the motivation that they need, the home court advantage. There's no home court advantage in Brooklyn, folks. So, okay, y'all keep it with the Nets. Y'all keep it with the Nets. Y'all keep doing it with the Nets, please. It is helping fund the show. So thank y'all for funding the show on your brainwashing. Thank y'all. Thank y'all for this. All right, so for the Nets last night, Kevin Durant, 41 points, shot 60%. Once again, just commanded the ball. That's all it was in the second half. 41 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists. Fantastic by Kevin Durant. Andre Drummond, 14 points, 13 rebounds. Well done. Y'all know we love the new additions. Andre Drummond, Seth Curry. Seth Curry last night, 11 points, 4 assists, 3 rebounds. Didn't shoot well. 2 of 7 from the field, 2 of 6 from the 3, but gave us 11 points. That's solid. And then Kyrie Irving, 24 points, only 4 assists. Once again, he doesn't want to be the point guard, all that, blah, blah, blah. Goran Dragic, nothing great. This man's not good anymore. It's unfortunate. He had an okay game. It was efficient, I guess. 9 points on 7 shots, 57% from the field. So we give that man that only credit. I didn't like anything that we've seen from Goran Dragic here at all this season. The man is a little bit donezo, which is unfortunate. Goran Dragic, a solid career overall, but he's not looking good anymore this season. No more spring left in his chicken, unfortunately. And then Nicholas Claxton, the other big, coming off the bench, 11 points, 4 rebounds. They've got no bench. They've got no depth. They rely so heavily on Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, which is obviously given. Whatever team that, these players are on, they're always going to rely on them. But we need the third. We need the depth. That's what makes these other teams so much more better, so much more should be more fearful than this Nets team because they're more deep. And don't have to rely on Kevin Durant just saying, okay, give me the ball. Just give me the ball. Shut up and give me the ball. Will y'all shut up and give me the ball so I can go to work? Slim Reaper. Slim Reaper, let the Slim Reaper go to work, please. Give me the ball and shut up. Instead of shut up and dribble, shut up and give me the ball. That's Kevin Durant, which we can't blame. It worked last night. So Kevin Durant goes manic, gets it done, gets the win, saves the Nets, because if the Nets lost last night, folks, this would have been probably a more funner show than what it currently is, because I would have went manic on the Nets and manic on everybody. I think I would have called everybody out. I think I would have done just a Twitter search of the word Nets, and I would have made a fool out of every single person in the world that said Nets in the last month. So, Nets win the game, but only by 7, 130 to 123. They give up too many points. There's no defense here, and defense wins championships, folks. Yes, that's the truth in the NFL, but it's also the truth in the NBA as well. Get it together defensively, or is Steve Nash not as good as a coach? Yeah, we could have told you that before you hired him. We knew this wasn't going to be the case. Stop it with these players, ex-players turned coaches. It doesn't work. You don't even need to be that good of a coach in the NBA. Coaching doesn't really do that much in the NBA compared to football and other team sports. It's a make or miss league in the NBA. Coaching doesn't really do anything. So Jason Kidd, I don't really like him as a head coach. Steve Nash, we truly don't like him as a head coach. So Chauncey Billups, who the Bulls now? He's got the Blazers. Everybody's injured. They trade everybody. I mean, that's what you get as with what's his name as head coach. Just lost his name after we just said it. Not good. So yeah, can we stop it with these ex-players turned head coaches that you think are going to be good? They're not, okay? They're not. Nets get the win, 130 to 123, but this doesn't move the needle for us, and they're still not back in the top 10 here. No. All right, next game up here, the one that we all were forced to watch last night. So glad we were forced to watch this garbage. Mavericks win, dominate 128 to 110 over the Lakers. Nice 18-point win. LeBron was a game time decision and then decides not to play. And now we officially have the Lakers outside looking in, folks. The Spurs have done it. Well done, Spurs. Spurs are now the 10th seed in the Western Conference, where the Lakers are now the 11th seed outside looking in. Love that we have the Spurs at the 10th seed in our power rankings. They truly deserve it. And once again, teams going out, controlling their own destiny, and getting a playoff spot. What we have clamored for, folks. So thank you, Spurs, for heeding our warning, taking our advice, getting it done, digging in, and winning at the back end of the season to have a chance to get into the playoffs. That's all we've been asking for, folks. Well done. Well freaking done. So, back to the Mavericks and Lakers from last night. We had Luka Doncic, 34 points, 12 assists, 12 rebounds, triple-double for Luka Doncic, who definitely should be in the MVP discussion. Jokic, Embiid, Devin Booker, Luka Doncic. I think that's kind of the elite four. I don't know. We maybe if we extend it to 5, put Siakam. Are we leaving anybody else out? We're not doing DeMar DeRozan anymore. The wins aren't there. Raptors back in the playoffs, back in the driver's seat. Love it by Siakam. So, yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of my top 5. I think I still got Jokic at 1, but Luka Doncic, I mean, this Mavericks team is a little bit lackluster. They've got no big. I mean, they're like the only good team without a big, folks, and I'm not knocking Dwight Powell and kind of Maxi Kleber, or kind of the bigs, quote unquote, bigs here for this Mavericks team. I'm not knocking them. They're getting it done. But once again, this is kind of like one of the only top 12 teams in the league that don't have a big. Heat, Bam Adebayo, Bucks, I mean, they got a plethora. Giannis, Bobby Portis, Brook Lopez. They were able to have no Brook Lopez and still the number 2 seed in the Eastern Conference without him. 76ers, Joel Embiid, the Celtics, now they don't have a big. They had Robert Williams, who's getting better. But now they don't have a big. Daniel Tyson's not a big, folks. Yes, he's big, but he's not a big. He doesn't get to be qualified as a big, folks. So, yeah, I guess the Celtics, they don't. Bulls, they got Vucevic. Raptors, you got Precious, you got OG Anunoby. Siakam can fill in at a big. That's kind of why, he's a little bit in the MVP discussion. He can, play the big when he needs to. And it definitely came in handy a lot this season. The Cavs at the 7th seed, they got Jared Allen. And that's just in the Eastern Conference. So kind of out of the top 7 seeds in the Eastern Conference, just the Celtics now, they don't have a big because he just got injured. Then the Western Conference, the Suns, DeAndre Ayton, the Grizzlies, Steven Adams, defensive big. He's not an offensive big, but he's a big by defensive name, absolutely. The Warriors, they don't have a big. That's why they've been struggling mightily as of recently. No Draymond Green. Draymond Green's kind of their best big, and he's not even a kind of big. He's a 4. Smaller 4. The Mavericks, no big. That's our argument. The Jazz, Rudy Gobert. The Nuggets, Jokic. The Timberwolves, Karl Anthony Towns. So there's, out of the top 14 teams in the league, 2, 3 don't have a big. So yeah, the Mavericks being currently the 4th seed in the Western Conference. Yeah, Luka Doncic should be in the MVP discussion because he's getting it done with role players, no bigs, and that's what most valuable player award. That's kind of what it means to us. I don't take it as just the greatest player award. If that's what it is, that's fine, but we must make that correction and change the name MVP, most valuable player. The player that helps other people be valuable while also getting it done himself. That's my definition of MVP, not just the best player award. So yeah, that Luka Doncic is able to elevate this Mavericks team to, did anybody think this Mavericks team would be the 4th seed at the current moment? I don't, especially when they lost Porzingis. I don't even know what they were doing. But here they are winning 23, shooting 43% from the 3. Luka Doncic leads by examples, the 12 assists, facilitating the floor, the 34 points, the leading scorer, the 12 rebounds, leading rebounder, no big. So the guard can get all the boards, absolutely. So yeah, Luka Doncic easily in the discussion for MVP. And once again, we've got a couple more games here, about a week and a half, 2 weeks left of games to truly shore it up here. Once again, still a lot of movement to be had, so we'll see what team ends where here. But yeah, Luka Doncic, give that man MVP discussion. Make the argument. I could agree, absolutely. So Luka Doncic, a fantastic night. Jalen Brunson, 12 points, 5 rebounds. Dwight Powell, 12 points, 8 rebounds. Dorian Finney-Smith, 8 points on 6 shots. And then Reggie Bullock, 17 points. So everybody in the starting lineup getting it done. And then the mother-loving bench. Spencer Dinwiddie, 13 points, 6 assists. Him still coming off the bench. I think I love it, folks. We don't even need him in the starting lineup. How crazy is that? Josh Green, 12 points. Davis Bertans, 14 points, 5 rebounds. So, man, oh man, everybody getting into the scoring action for the Mavericks last night. And I know it's easy because they're going against the Lakers, but hey, taking care of business, we don't knock that. So let's get the Lakers out of the way here. Here we go. We had Russell Westbrook, 25 points, 6 assists, 8 rebounds. He needed to kind of be the main person on this team because they've got no stars anymore, no LeBron, no AD, and Russell Westbrook, an unfortunate minus 25 on the floor, the worst by far. Malik Monk, 28 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. All right, we like the points, led the team in scoring. This is what we've been asking for Malik Monk all year long, and finally he gets it done in a non-meaningful game because there was no LeBron. So thank you, Malik Monk, finally getting it done when you had no chance to win the game. Exactly what we wanted to see. So Stanley Johnson fills in for LeBron at the 4, 16 points, 5 rebounds. That's not LeBron James-esque. So yeah, Lakers, so abysmal, so bad, so trash, and now no longer in the play-in tournament. Womp, womp, womp. All right, but thank goodness the other LA team is good because we get the last game of the night, Jazz at the Clippers, and once again, Jazz on the road is absolutely so bad, folks. It's so gosh dang garbage. This Jazz team is so bad. Once again, I'm telling you, folks. We know what we're talking about. We know what we're talking about over here. The Nets, the Jazz, please stop elevating them. Please. How much more do we need to see for y'all to come to the realization that the Nets and the Jazz, they're just not good. There's other teams better that we should be talking about, that we should be celebrating, okay? The Celtics, seriously, celebrate them. Yes? Throw a party for the Celtics. I don't care if you're not Celtics fans. You throw a party for what they've done. Yes? Everybody. I'm talking about people that don't even watch basketball. Throw a party for the Celtics, okay? They deserve it. I'm throwing my Celtics party tonight, so come over to the studio and we can celebrate the Celtics, yes? So, Clippers, they come back from, what were they down? What was the Jazz largest lead last night? Because they were leading the entire game, but the Jazz still lose. The largest lead was 25. They had a 25-point lead and beefed it. The Jazz had, do you see the Celtics beefing 25-point leads? Of course not. But the Jazz do. The Jazz always do. This is the most Jazz-ish thing that we've ever seen. Paul George's first game back. Gets it done. Yeah, Ty Lue coaching his ass off. Yeah, coming back down, digging in. Once again, why we kind of knock the Nets as hard as we do. Because we get this Clippers team with only Paul George. Not by himself. Once again, these role players for the Clippers, they truly get it done when they've got their superstar Paul George and Ty Lue's coaching his ass off. They get it done. We saw that at the beginning of the season. But the Nets, they wouldn't do anything like this. Down 25. What was the Pistons' largest lead? It wasn't 25. They didn't overcome 25 points. Maybe something along the lines of 10. Let me see. Can I get back here? Here we go. Pistons. Their largest lead was 12. Yeah, it was 12. Not no 25. Nets not coming back down from 25. They come back down from 12. Yeah, Kevin Durant can come back down from 12. Yeah. But not no 25. What the Clippers did last night. So done with the Jazz. Can we all please be done with the Jazz? I think we can agree a little bit more on that, being done with the Jazz. Y'all love to dig the heels in with the Nets. Okay, y'all can dig your heels in. Everybody's got their dig in heel thing. Okay, I'll let y'all let that be the Nets. But don't let it be the Nets and the Jazz. Y'all don't get double digging down, okay? Don't get that triple D. No. So, Clippers get the big time comeback win, 121-115 last night over the Jazz. Clippers, Reggie Jackson, 21 points, 5 assists, love it. And Reggie Jackson, his energy, you just see his energy increase when he's got Paul George. We've seen Reggie Jackson kind of hold it down himself a couple of games without Paul George for basically the second half of the season. But Reggie Jackson, once he knows, hey, we got the star, yeah. And then he goes manic, and he went manic last night. Not efficient, shooting 33% on 24 shots, but still overall 21 points, 5 assists. Will absolutely take that. Paul George at the 2, coming in and playing the 2 and not his usual 3. Played the 2 last night, 34 points, 6 assists, 4 steals, 2 rebounds. Getting it done, and then nobody else in the starting lineup got the memo to be competitive. But off the bench, Luke Kennard, 17 points. Isaiah Hartenstein, 14 points, 6 assists, 7 rebounds. We were able to rely on them to help out Paul George erase that 25-point deficit. Then, for the Jazz last night, Donovan Mitchell, 33 points, 6 assists. Once again, we see this all the time. Has Donovan Mitchell not put up like 33 points or 30-plus points over the last month here? This man is always getting it done offensively, but it's not resulting into any wins. Unfortunate. Rudy Gobert, he had 9 points, 16 rebounds, still not enough to get it done. Mike Conley, 19 points. Once again, Bogdanovich not playing. They are truly just missing Bogdanovich. Is that what it is? He's been out for the last few games, and they've just been absolutely getting destroyed on the road. They don't show up for games. So, Jazz, be done with the Jazz. How do you give up 25 points? How do you do that? Absolutely unacceptable. Absolutely unacceptable. They're deeper. They're healthier. They're just overall, just looking at the roster, you say, strictly comparing roster to roster, you say, oh yeah, the Jazz are better than the Clippers. Just based off roster by roster. But here we are. Jazz still losing. We got top 10s coming out this week, folks. I don't want to see the Jazz anywhere near it. What do we got? What's today, Wednesday? Let me see, NBA Power Rankings. Y'all, let me do the old Twitter search on NBA Power Rankings. When do y'all update it? Y'all updated it currently? Who's this? Oh, CBS, March 20. Oh, no, this is March 24th. Yeah, so y'all haven't updated the power rankings just quite yet. And y'all are doing like your, the NBA, they were the kind of the last ones to update their power rankings, but they only did a top 5. What is that? What does the top 5 show us? I know we threatened the top 5, but these other teams are getting it done, so we didn't do the top 5. So nobody's power rankings has come out just quite yet, besides the NBA's. March 28th on Central Hoops. No longer Jazz in the top 10. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. You also get the Nets here. They don't got the Nets either. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Well, this is via the NBA. But either way, the NBA got it right. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Got it right. No Nets, no Jazz in the top 10. Thank y'all. See? We had a little bit of a rough week. Y'all had a little bit of a rough week. Okay, we have rough weeks. We have rough days. Absolutely. But y'all got it right. That's exactly what we should all be striving for. Getting it right. Well done, at least for now, the NBA. Updating the power rankings correctly. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. So, Clippers get the win 121-115, and that was all the NBA we had to go over from last night, but let's keep this betting train going, folks. I mean, we have been absolutely killing it the last week. We had a little bit of a hiccup 2 days ago when we just overvalued some lackluster teams. We overvalued. We took the Kings plus 12, folks. I mean, hindsight, that wasn't a good bet. I was, falling too much in love with the Heat being trash and not being good and not showing up to win games, and Davion Mitchell getting it done with no Sabonis and no De'Aaron Fox, but it all just came too much. We were a little bit late. We were late on the Kings train. It was like a 2-game stretch. If you missed it real quick, and we got on that train a little bit too late. But when we're betting on the good teams and all that, the proven teams, we're fine. We're fine. The only games that we missed were betting plus 12 on the Kings. That was it. And we overbelieved in another team that it's not coming to me at the current moment. But the Kings won. We were just late on it. So we know what we're talking about here. Let's keep this gravy train betting going, folks. And we got games on tonight. So tons of games to talk about. Tons of games to parse through, so we've got our pick of the crop. We don't have to settle for anything, not that we do settle, but let's see what we've got on tap tonight. 2-0 last night, and we even did a money line, an underdog's money line, and we hit it. And we took 14, and we hit it. We did everything yesterday. So here we go. What do we got on tonight? Here we go. First game up. We got the Nuggets at the Pacers. Nuggets minus 9.5. Pacers plus 9.5. All right. For the Nuggets, we get JaMychal Green, just a game time decision. And once again, Michael Porter Jr. still out. Once again, we saw him like a game time decision for one game. He didn't play. And then just straight out for the last 2-3 games ever since that. So Michael Porter Jr. not returning anytime soon, it looks like. And then for the Pacers, Goga Bitadze, game time decision. Isaiah Jackson, game time decision. And Dwayne Washington, a game time decision. But Tyrese Halliburton, Buddy Hield will be out there. And we did just see Buddy Hield and Tyrese Halliburton finally have a good game together. Last game, I think it still resulted in a loss, correct? Pacers lost. They lost by 9 to the Hawks. That's when we got some solid production by Buddy Hield and Tyrese Halliburton. But the Nuggets, they should be able to take care of business here. Pacers, they've just been a little bit up and down recently. Nothing that I can kind of truly believe in. With the 9.5-point spread here, this is probably like a 9-10 point win for the Nuggets. So we'll just stay away from it. Nuggets win, but too close of a spread here with no great value. That's not what we bet on, folks. We don't bet on just value. We want the great value. The Pistons plus 14, that was the great value last night. If it was only Pistons plus 7, 8, 9, or not 9, but like if it was Pistons plus 7, 8, I mean, I don't even know if we would have taken it at that point. That would have just been meh value at that point, but once we cross double digits, yeah, that turns the meh value to extreme great value, and that's when we cash in. We're not just searching for meh value, especially when we got like 12 games on tonight. We're not going to be settling for meh value like the 9.5 with the Nuggets. No, thank you. So we stay away from that one. Then the next game up here, we got the Mavericks at the Cavs. Mavericks -2, Cavs +2. Mavericks on the back-to-back, but I am kind of interested. Oh, this is why. Everybody's out. Spencer Dinwiddie's out for the Mavericks, so definitely staying away from it. And then Jared Allen is still out. And look at this. Evan Mobley's out for the Cavs. So, yeah, two bad teams. All players out. Not two bad teams. I take that back. Two teams with a lot of outs. Mavs on the back-to-back. Definitely got to stay away from this one. All right, then we get the Magic at the Wizards. Wizards on the back-to-back. These are two trash teams. We can call these two teams bad. Yeah, absolutely. So we stay away from it just off those two fronts. Wizards on the back-to-back, and those two teams are bad. Then we get this game. Yeah. Is this on television? Can this please be on television? Yes. Oh, yeah, baby. Celtics back in action on prime time, nationally televised television. ESPN at 7:30, folks. Buckle up and be there. Woo, here we go. Heat plus 5.5, Celtics minus 5.5 here. Let's see Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown all playing again. I'm sure it is with the spread. You can't have Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown out and still be minus 5.5. That's crazy. So, for the Celtics, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, game time decisions. They're playing, folks. They're not minus 5 with both of them out. And we know the truly unfortunate news of Robert Williams is out. For the Heat, Caleb Martin, game time decision. Duncan Robinson, game time decision. Gabe Vincent, game time decision. But I'm ready to put the money into the Celtics. The Celtics and the Suns are truly the only teams that have proven the most consistency dominance here of the league here, and I'm ready to bet it. Celtics minus 5.5. Give me the points. No Robert Williams, but I'm still I'm putting faith. I'm putting the money that the Celtics will be able to figure it out. Bam Adebayo should be having an absolute cakewalk here tonight. Who's gonna shut him down? Al Horford, Daniel Tice. I mean, come on. I don't want that to seem like I'm knocking Al Horford. I am knocking Daniel Tice by saying that. Absolutely. Al Horford better than Daniel Tice. We all know this. But still, Al Horford a little bit older. Bam Adebayo a little bit more spring in his chicken. Obviously younger. So he should be going manic and having a feast. But it doesn't matter. The Celtics defense. The Celtics actually play defense, not like the Nets. Yes. And this Heat team has been struggling down the stretch of some of these games as well. So their defense isn't in that tip-top shape. So Celtics minus 5.5. I love the Celtics. Have y'all not listened to the show for the last 2 weeks? We are gushing, absolutely gushing over this Celtics team. I'll swallow the 5.5, no problem. National televised games. Everybody will be able to see the Celtics team out in full force, getting it done without Robert Williams, and everybody should be taking notes. Nets, Jazz, take notes tonight. We're about to get a master class in basketball. Master class at what the great teams look like. Take notes. Even the Heat should be taking notes, but they'll be on the floor, so they'll get the front row notes, yes? Celtics minus 5.5, absolutely yes, sir. All right, next game up here, we got the Hornets at the Knicks. Hornets minus 3, Knicks plus 3, and we got to give this Knicks team credit, folks. This is why we've dropped our sponsorship. This Knicks team has been getting it done, 4-game win streak, trying to get into that playing tournament, and we can't knock them because they've been looking really good while trying to do so. So, for the Hornets, everybody's good to go, and then for the Knicks, we get Evan Fournier, a game time decision, which is probably for the best, and that is it. Just Evan Fournier is the only question mark here tonight. This is a true tough one. Hornets trending up, Knicks getting points. Knicks at home seems like that is great value, but this is just too close for me to call. Should be a great game. Knicks plus 3 is looking appetizing here, but the fact that Vegas is looking at this Heat and Hornets team and only making a minus 3, we know the Hornets are kind of, they hold a special place. They hold a special place in Vegas's heart. So them being only minus 3 seems like a little bit of a trap bet. Like Knicks plus 3 seems like great value. Knicks with the points on how they've played recently, but maybe Vegas expects this Hornets team to blow them out by like 7-10. So I think we're gonna stay away from it here. I still have a little PTSD of betting on the Knicks. I don't know if that's clouding my judgment or not, but I am leaning. If this is what y'all need to take the bet, this is what I will say. I am leaning towards taking the Knicks plus 3. We're just not totally horizontal. We got a little bit of a lean, a little bit of a tilt to us, not fully horizontal, 180 degree. No. But I may be able to get there. I may be able to get there for the rest of the night as I'm just looking at this number and loving it by the second. I'm loving it by the second. But for right now, we will stay away from it. So if we do take it, we will post it on our Twitter at Takes by Fans. So we'll stay away from it right now. Next game up, we got the Timberwolves at the Raptors. Another close 3-point spread here. Timberwolves +3, Raptors -3. And the Raptors, going toe-to-toe with that lackluster Celtics team. That doesn't, give us any promise of betting the Raptors tonight, but let's check the ins and outs. For the Timberwolves, we get Malik Beasley out and Jaden McDaniels out. For the Raptors, we get Malachi Flynn out and Kem Birch a game-time decision. So I'm going to stay away from this one. I want a couple more games, definitely against kind of, playoff caliber teams like the Timberwolves are. So I like the Timberwolves. Y'all know we love the Timberwolves, but we'll see. Is this Raptors team truly like they were at the beginning of the season, absolute dominant and looking great? So I need a few more sample size games on this Raptors team before we start kind of betting for them, betting against them. So we'll stay away from Timberwolves Raptors. Then we get the Hawks at the Thunder. Hawks -12.5, Thunder +12.5. Once again, the Thunder, they always are just competitive. Regardless of who they put out there, they're just going to be competitive. That's in their nature. And for the Hawks, we get Danilo Gallinari out, John Collins out. That's going against the Hawks. And then for the Thunder, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, we know they shut him down. But once again, they shut him down last game, and they only lost by 3 in overtime. We knew that who they faced the last game, the Rockets. We know the Rockets aren't good, but still the Blazers, same thing. Rockets, Blazers, still not good. They're just competitive. So we know the Hawks, they're trying to turn the corner. They've won their last 2 games, very, very good. But classic Hawks pattern, good, bad, overlook this Thunder team on the road. So I do like the Thunder +12.5, but the way that the Hawks have been playing lately, we can't take those 12 points. So got to stay away from this game as well. We'll see if the Hawks are the real deal or not. We'll know by the end of tonight. All right, final 4 games. Can we find some more value? Let's see. Here we go. Next game up, we got the Kings at the Rockets. Kings -3, Rockets +3. All righty. If everybody's playing for this Kings team, I'll swallow the 3 here. But let's see. For the Kings, we get Sabonis out, De'Aaron Fox out. So, all right. We know Davion Mitchell can take care of business. But, once again, we just told y'all we overvalue the Kings. That's what really kind of brought an end to our great winning streak that we were on here in the NBA. And then for the Rockets, Christian Wood is done. They shut him down for the rest of the season. Dennis Schroeder, they shut him down for the rest of the season. So this is just, 2 bad teams, everybody out at the end of the season. I don't know if we should be betting on this. I'd rather bet on good teams than bad teams at the back end of the season. So if I want to beef up this parlay to 1 more, just beef up our picks to 1 more, we'll do that. But we're not going to do this with the Kings and the Rockets. No. All right, next game up here. Hang on here. Okay. This is interesting. I don't know how I feel about this one, but here we go. Let's talk it through. Here we go. Next game up, Grizzlies at the Spurs. Grizzlies -5, Spurs +5. Grizzlies, obviously with no John Morant, but it doesn't matter. It obviously doesn't matter. They get it done on the road, at home. It doesn't matter. They don't live and die by John Morant. So John Morant out for the Grizzlies. Killian Tilly also out for the Grizzlies as well. For the Spurs, Lonnie Walker, a game-time decision. So the Spurs, everybody kind of good to go. For the Grizzlies, everybody's good to go besides John Morant. And Spurs +5. We know the Spurs are good. They just got into the play-in tournament. They're at home. They're trending upwards. They're on this magnificent kind of 10 games. Last 10 games, 6-4. Probably the best 10-game stretch that they've had all year long. So, Grizzlies -5 here. I think I'm buying into it. And I know I love the Spurs, and we have them in our number 10 spot in our power rankings, and we love that the Spurs are digging in deep, but Grizzlies only -5 here. I think this is a little bit of an overvalue by the Spurs. We know the Spurs are good, but they're not beating the great teams, folks. This is the last couple of games that the Spurs have won. They beat the Rockets by 3. Concerning. They beat the Pelicans. That was a good win by 4. We give them credit to that. Then they beat the Blazers. They beat the Warriors by 2. We know the Warriors are struggling. The Grizzlies aren't struggling. They lost to the Pelicans, so they only beat the Pelicans because they faced them in like a week stretch. So they beat the Thunder. They lose to the Timberwolves. They lose to the Pacers. They beat the Jazz. Those are the teams they beat. The Jazz. That's kind of the teams they beat. So We like the Spurs. Don't get us wrong. This is truly impressive. We love that they're in the play-in tournament at the current moment, but Grizzlies, this is a different beast. Everybody's playing loosey-goosey. John Morant's out so everybody else can shine. Everybody, this is a true team that, hey, this is a team. We all get it done together as a team. We win and lose as a team, but without, the main superstar, they're like, hey, we can get a little bit more shine here. I'm not opposed to the shine. So Grizzlies -5. I think this is great value. Let's go to the Action Network because, once again, are we on the sharp side? Are we not on the sharp side? I think this is a nice amount of points to swallow. Like, the Grizzlies can easily win this game by like 8, 9, maybe even 10 points out here. So let's go to the Action Network. Let's see where everybody's betting. Are y'all taking the points? Are y'all swallowing the points? Let's see. Are we on kind of the right side or the wrong side? Are we on the sharp side, not the sharp side? Here we go. Let me get to this. Here we go. Public betting. Here we go. Public betting. Y'all are, no, let me do NBA. I don't give a damn about no baseball. I can tell you that. Here we go. For this game, Grizzlies. Where are they? Grizzlies, where are you? Grizzlies. Here we go. And yeah, well done. See, y'all are getting it. Here we go. Against the spread betting, folks. Y'all are betting on the Grizzlies. 77% is on the Grizzlies. Only 23% is on the Spurs. So well done. Y'all are smart. We're also smart. We'll take the Grizzlies -5. Well done to y'all. All right, next game up. And what the hell is this spread? The hell is this spread, folks? Suns at the Warriors. Suns -4.5. Suns -4.5 against the Warriors? Warriors are bum right now, folks. What the hell is going on here? There must be major outs for the Suns. Here we go. Outs for the Suns. What do we got? JaVale McGee out. Cameron Johnson, game time decision. So Cameron Johnson may be back and still only -4.5. What are we doing here? For the Warriors, Steph Curry's out, and they're only +4.5. Are we serious with this, folks? Suns -4.5. How many times do we have to teach y'all? Y'all just gave us a nice spread against the 76ers. Suns, what was it? Let me go back. Suns -4 against the 76ers and they get it done? Yeah, Suns -4.5 against the 76ers. They win by 10. Same thing here. Vegas not learning their lesson. Still in love with the Nets. Still, only thinking about the Nets. Letting everything else go. Grizzlies -5, great value. Suns -4.5, great value. We get the best teams in the league, and we only have to swallow like 5 points. I have to swallow 5.5 with the Celtics, and they don't have Robert Williams. Do you see how it doesn't make sense? I think I want to stay away from the Celtics -5.5 now. This is giving me pause because I'm seeing all this other value. But we love the Celtics, so we're not going to do that to them. We respect the Celtics, regardless of what they are. Darn. All right, last game of the night. That Suns -4.5. I don't get that at all. What the hell is that? Perfect. It's perfect for me. I'm not complaining. I'm just dumbfounded because it doesn't make sense. But I'm definitely not complaining. My pockets are not complaining. The wallet is not complaining. The studio, the Takes by Fan studio, is not complaining. I'll tell you that. All right, final game of the night. Pelicans at the Blazers. Pelicans -14.5. Blazers +14.5 here. Big time spread. We love the Pelicans. The Blazers are phoning it in. We know this. Everybody's being shut down for the rest of the season. We get Jonas Valanciunas as a game time decision. And then for the Blazers, Anthony Simons is still out. So we know how that's going to go down. So, we won't swallow the 14.5 here. Once again, I will say it is the fear. It's a little bit of a fear, but it's also a little bit, hey, we don't need to push it or anything. We got 3 great values here, just swallowing 5. We don't need to swallow 14.5. Once again, I don't mind swallowing big spreads, but when we don't have to, we're not going to. We will always prefer the better teams with the lower spreads over the better teams with the higher spreads. I mean, that's just what it is. So, staying away from the Pelicans -14.5 tonight. But man, oh man, there is value on the board tonight, folks. Value on the board. Man, oh man, value on the board. I can't believe it. So here we go. Celtics -5.5. Grizzlies -5 in the absolute best bet of the night. Best bet of the night. Suns -4. And now it's Suns -4. What the hell are y'all taking the points? Y'all are taking the points right now? Are y'all crazy? Are y'all crazy, folks? Suns now minus only 4. No half-a-point hook. Thank you. Who's ever taken the points, suckerly. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Damn, what are y'all doing out here? I thought we were on the same page. I was just praising y'all for getting it right on the Grizzlies pick. What are y'all doing on this Warriors pick? Y'all are still 77% on the Suns, 23% on the Warriors. Is the money is on the Warriors? Why is the money on the Warriors? Stop putting the money on the Warriors. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Suns -4. Thank you. I'll lock that in now. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So, we get Celtics -5.5, Suns at -4, in the Grizzlies -5. All right, that's what we're rocking with today in the NBA. Alrighty, that is all the NBA we had to go over for today. Once again, spent way too much time on that. 1 hour on that. Man, oh man. We try not to. I don't know how we do. And there was only 5 games on last night. We still took all that time. All right, but here we go. Let's transition to the NFL and see how many stories we can get out of the way here, folks. But let's start with probably the funniest story we will ever read on this show, folks. And I want to read these quotes so gosh dang much, because this is, let me just read you the clickbait quote. And this isn't even the best clickbait quote that there was, folks. There's another great clickbait. So this article is going to be filled with great quotes, and we're not going to lead any read-ups. I don't care about the lead-ups. I just want to hear the language, the tone. I wanted to see the quotes. That's it. So here we go. This is so funny, folks. Just keep in mind, while we read these quotes, I just need y'all to keep in mind that we just read from Frank Reich earlier this week, hey, it's not fair to use Carson Wentz as a scapegoat. The head coach saying it's not fair to use Carson Wentz as a scapegoat. Keep that in mind as we hear from the owner, who we all know, Jim Irsay, is always outspoken. I mean, we know this about the man, yes. So this is great that we get in. This is truly him saying what he feels, because this is what we know Jim Irsay does, but just keep what Frank Reich said in mind. So here we go. The clickbait quote. Colts owner Jim Irsay calls Carson Wentz era a, quote, mistake. Called it a mistake. When was the last time we've got anybody, coach, head coach, player, saying it was a mistake for a player to be there? We never got that. Even Baker Mayfield, the Browns aren't calling it a mistake. They're saying, hey, we want a little bit of an adult, so now they're trying to walk that quote back. I don't know, Jim Irsay is not going to be able to walk any of these quotes back, because here we go. Clickbait quote number 1 here says, quote, for us, it was something we had to move away from as a franchise. It was very obvious. And that's what we said. That's what we said over here. But to have this come from the owner's perspective, yeah, we love it. Finally, people talking how it needs to be. I mean, once again, people, for the most part, folks, they say what they have to say. The media, the public, the PR firms, they work for this company, the team's a company, their goal is to make money. So usually, for the most part, folks, guys, owners, coaches, they say what they have to say. Boilerplate, PR written things. And that's, why we take everything with the big old grain of salt. And that's kind of, why we read into some things. Sometimes we read a little bit too much into it, but overall, we still need to read into things, because guys are just saying what they have to say. They have to say that. Frank Reich had to say that. Jim Irsay, though, he owns this team. He doesn't got to say anything. Doesn't really have to say anything here. So, him kind of being so blunt about it, this is what we love. This is what we love, because we know it's not all just kind of, what they say. It's not always just, face value, what you say. That's the end all be all. Like Kyler Murray right now. Oh, no, everything's good. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. You deleted your whole social media. Everything's not good now, okay? But here we go. Back to these Jim Irsay quotes. Let's click into this article here. And I just want to read what this man is saying about Carson Wentz, because it's all true, folks. I mean, none of this is a lie. None of this is a lie, folks. Is it unfortunate? Yes, it's unfortunate for Carson Wentz. Is somebody going to smack Jim Irsay in defense of Carson Wentz? Maybe, probably. But overall, it's true. It's true. It's true. It's unfortunate, but it's true. Here we go. First quote by Jim Irsay. Says, quote, I think the worst thing you can do is have a mistake and try to keep living with it going forward. Once again, doubling down on the mistake. Carson Wentz was a mistake. Folks, nobody's ever been called a mistake in the NFL. I can't think of one. I can name a few, but I can't think of any actual coaches and owners coming out and saying it was a mistake. Back to the quote, I think the worst thing you can do is have a mistake and try to keep living with it going forward. So this is why we give praise to Jim Irsay. You know, he nipped it in the butt. There's no coming back from this. You lost the complete trust of everybody in the locker room, not just from the coach's perspective, but the player's perspective. You were supposed to be kind of, you know, the beacon of hope. They're a quarterback plug and play away. We've said it for the last 2 years, and we're saying it again heading into this season. The Colts are a plug and play quarterback away from winning it all. Winning it all, not being competitive, not getting to the playoffs, from winning it all. Quarterback plug and play away. Phillip Rivers couldn't get it done. Carson Wentz did worse than that. You must get rid of him. It's unfortunate, but that's how it has to be. It's how it has to be. You couldn't beat the Jaguars the last week of the season just to get in the playoffs. I mean, you won't step it up. If you won't step it up and get it done against the Jags, you're not going to step it up in the Super Bowl, folks. It's just not going to happen. So, another quote here by Jim Irsay saying, quote, for us, it was something we had to move away from as a franchise. It was very obvious. He's saying it's obvious. We said it was obvious. We got Frank Reich saying, oh, it's not fair. Okay, Frank Reich playing the nice game. Okay. You want to do that? That's fine. We don't have any problem with it. We just know that you're lying. That's fine. We know you're lying, but that's fine. If you want to, live and die by the lie, go ahead. But we all know it's a lie. We know it's a lie. Even though you're not saying it, and you can always kind of go back to, oh, I never said that. I never said that. I just never said that. And you correct. You never said that. But you're a liar. You're just a liar. That's fine. Okay, you're a liar at the end of the day. All right, here we go. Next quote. If it was so obvious, folks, Frank Reich's lying. We just have to assume that. Yes? It's not unfair. It's not unfair to use Carson Wentz as a scapegoat. It's not. It's just simply not. Here we go. Next quote by Jim Irsay says, quote, no disrespect to Jacksonville. No disrespect to Jacksonville, but I'll disrespect the hell out of Carson Wentz. This is why it's so comical, folks, and we love it. We love it. Here we go. Let's finish the quote. No disrespect to Jacksonville, but I mean, okay, we just got to stop. Read the whole quote. Here we go. No disrespect to Jacksonville, but I mean, they're the worst team in the league. You play well and hard for the first quarter or so, and they're looking to go to their locker room and clean it out. I've never seen anything like that in my life. You say, my God, there's something wrong here. It needs to be corrected. I think we feel like we did. My God, there's something wrong here. I don't want to disrespect the Jags, but they're the worst team in the league. My God, there's something wrong here, folks. This is crazy, folks. And the Washington took them. Washington took them. You know how they're all feeling right now hearing what Jim Irsay's saying? They're like, did we get swindled? Did we get swindled? Was everybody kind of, Frank Reich's opinion? Hey, it's not fair. Maybe they were buying into that. The Washington was like, hey, it's not fair to use him as a scapegoat. I'm sure there was other things going on with the Colts that's why they lost. No, it was only solely Carson Wentz. And congratulations, Ron Rivera, who's complaining. Do I have this up? I have it up. Let me see if I can find it quick. Ron Rivera's complaining about let me see. He's complaining about not being taken seriously. Here it is. Ron Rivera said the franchise is, quote, an easy target, and I'm tired of it, but the only way to fix it is to win. Well, good luck. If you're tired of it, if you're tired of everybody kind of knocking Washington because it's a quote-unquote an easy target, which it is because you're not winning, especially since taking a step back from 2020 to 2021, defensively, offensively, they are an easy target, but Ron Rivera is sick of it, and the only way to kind of move past it is to win. Well, Carson Wentz isn't a winner. They lost against the worst team in the league. This is too funny, folks. I love it. Jim Irsay, thank you. Thank you for being the person you are for the most part. Some things, you definitely got to clean up. But for this part, thank you for being blunt and saying what everybody is thinking. Thank you. Thank you. We don't get boilerplate PR written answers anymore. We're getting it how it is. Sometimes we all have to hear how it is. Sometimes. sometimes and a little bit respectively. But overall, yeah. So, man, oh man, my God, there's something wrong here. I've never seen anything like that in my life. I've never seen anything as bad as what Carson Wentz just did in my life. My God, there's something wrong here. This is funny. And there's more, folks. That's not even the one I'm talking about. There's one more that just goes brutal on the man. And that's not even it. Let's keep it going. Next quote. Quote, your guy's got to pick up and carry you through Jacksonville. He has to do it. Not an option. He has to. No excuses. No explanations. Your guy's got to pick up and carry you through Jacksonville. He has to do it. Not an option. Has to. No excuses. No explanations. Exactly that. We're talking about the Jaguars. The Jaguars, the whole Urban Meyer thing, the whole freshman quarterback thing. You had to get it done against that team, and you did it. There is no excuses. Like we said, there is no excuses from that time. Ever since that next Monday, because we saw it on Sunday, it happened. Ever since that Monday, we were here saying it's unexcusable. You need to move off of them. And finally, the owner of the team is saying the same exact things because he's had enough of the boilerplate PR responses from Frank Reich and everybody in the Colts saying like, oh, it just didn't work out. We all deserve the blame. Blah, blah. No, Jim Irsay's not taking any blame here for Carson Wentz's inaction, garbageness, if you will. What else do we get? Another quote. Quote, you search for the right chemistry with any team. In football, it's as important as any sport that there is. If that chemistry is off, if it isn't there, it could be extremely detrimental in lower performance to a degree that is stunning and shocking. And that's exactly it. That's why you have to get rid of Carson Wentz. He wasn't even a leader in the locker room. We're hearing that now. Everybody kind of coming out and be like, yeah, the man didn't even care. He'd lose a game and be like, all right, let's go hunting. Let's go fishing. That's Carson Wentz. Not a leader. That's why we preach leadership, folks. Yes. And once again, that chemistry needs to be right, and every Colts player, whether they say it out loud or not say it at all, whether they go the Jim Irsay route or the Frank Reich route, they know they cannot believe in Carson Wentz to get them over the finish line, to put it all on the line, to go to bat for these players. They know Carson Wentz can't do it, so the team chemistry, the locker room is broken. For how long you keep Carson Wentz in the locker room. Luckily, the Colts smartened up and cut this man pretty quickly, pretty swiftly. Thank you. Here we go. Next quote. What do we got? All right, Jim Irsay had a quote. For us, the fit just wasn't right. I don't know why. A lot of times you don't know why, but you know it isn't. And it was important for us to move in a different direction. And Jim Irsay just says, yeah, we don't know why, it just wasn't. And that's fine. I think that's a fine excuse or just fine kind of answer to say, hey, we brought him in. Everything was looking good. The roster was right. He's a little bit of a proven quarterback of what we've seen his entire body of work, and we just brought him together, and it just didn't work. We don't understand why. We got Frank Reich. He's a little bit of proven. Y'all love Frank Reich in the media. We have T.Y. Hilton. Y'all love T.Y. Hilton. Y'all kind of say, he's kind of, top receiver to ever do it. Not number one, obviously, but, top 20. Y'all put T.Y. Hilton in top 20? Top 10, I think, is a stretch. I would say stretch, but top 20, y'all put him in top 20, let me know. But yeah, overall, we've got the talent here. We've got the pieces. It just didn't work. I don't know why, but we've got to move on. There's no running this back. There's absolutely no running this back. It's not going to get better. The trust, the competitive, everything is broken. It's done. What else do we get? Any more quotes? We get one more. Let it be great. Let it be great. Let it be great. What do we got? What are you going to end us on? What are you going to send us away with, Jim Irsay? Last final quote. Here we go. Quote, I think it was really quite remarkable. And okay, we might have to read a lead up to this one. Here we go. In the end, Indy found a taker for Wentz. They suckered him. In the end, they found a sucker for Carson Wentz and somehow convinced Washington to send a third-round pick and an extra conditional third-round pick back for a quarterback that the Colts seemed likely to cut. Jim Irsay says, quote, I think it was really quite remarkable and a great tribute to Chris to generate strong trade interest and get the deal done with Washington. I don't lose the fact that it was a pretty big blessing from the football gods where we were and where we could be if things don't materialize to that level. You end up cutting Carson and we get nothing. So Jim Irsay basically praising the swindle that Chris did for the trade to get something in return, 3rd round picks, something in return for Carson Wentz. So man, oh man, Jim Irsay calling it like it is. You had to move off of Carson Wentz. He's never seen anything like it. It's broken. The Jags are the worst team in the league, and your quarterback could not get it done. Jim Irsay calling it like it is. Calls it like it is on Carson Wentz, and I absolutely love everything about it. We've been saying the exact same things here, folks. The owner agrees. We're vindicated. Bingo, bango. You must have moved off of Carson Wentz, and now he's Washington's problem. And if I'm a Washington fan and I'm reading this, I am livid. I am steaming. I am boiling inside of what my franchise just did. Y'all want to knock Tua? Y'all want to knock Jimmy Garoppolo? Well, let's knock Carson Wentz because owners are doing it. Where we never gotten an owner knocking any other quarterback in, I don't think, in NFL history. I'm trying to recall. If I'm not thinking of one, please let me know. But I don't think we've ever gotten this type of statement from any owner, any head coach in the league about a quarterback. So, oh my goodness, how great was that, folks? How absolutely great was that? Man, oh man. Alrighty. Here we go. Next story up, and are we getting the same thing happening here, folks? Because we get this. The Ravens announced that they're signing head coach John Harbaugh to a 3-year contract extension. Whoa, a head coach getting paid before the players. When did we just see that? Oh, yeah, the Cardinals. Kyler Murray speaking out, hey, I want money. I want a big contract. The Cardinals being like, what are you, smoking crack? That's what the Cardinals owner wants to say, but can't do that. Can't say, are you smoking crack? Jim Irsay can say it. They need to pay Jim Irsay to say, Kyler Murray, are you smoking crack? You want a big contract for being good in the regular season? We don't do that here in the league. No. Are you smoking crack? And what happened? The Cardinals, we'll pay everybody. We pay the head coach. I think the general manager got an extension. Zach Ertz, I think, got paid. They're paying everybody besides Kyler Murray. And now we're getting the same thing here. Lamar Jackson, we know he wants a big contract. The Ravens, ever since, kind of Lamar Jackson popped onto the scene, they're like, oh yeah, we're going to get a deal done. We're going to get a deal done. We're going to give him a big old deal. We're going to pay him. We're going to take care of him. We're going to do him right. We're going to pay him. That's always been the Ravens kind of point ever since Lamar Jackson exploded onto the scene. We're going to pay him. Ever since Patrick Mahomes got that big deal, everyone's like, well, what is Lamar Jackson going to get? Is Lamar Jackson going to get that? And the Ravens are like, yeah, we're going to get the job done. We're going to get the deal done. Absolutely. And we still haven't gotten the deal done. And now Lamar Jackson, he hasn't really been speaking out about getting paid, but he is a little vocal. And now they signed John Harbaugh. They pay the coach. Exactly what the Cardinals did. They pay the coach first, not the quarterback. And then Lamar Jackson quotes the tweet of John Harbaugh getting signed and posts a GIF of "Let me hold $1." Everybody hates Chris. GIF, let me hold $1. Hey, let me get paid. Hey, where's my money? Same thing, the same exact situation that Kyler Murray's in, and how'd that work with Kyler Murray? Kyler Murray, we just talked about it. He had to kind of put out a statement saying, hey, man, that wasn't cryptic. Y'all thought me deleting my entire social media history was cryptic? No, that's just my generation. My generation, we young guys, we delete our social medias all the time. Y'all read into that. Y'all were cryptic, channeling his inner Riddler Rodgers on us, which I hate. See what you're doing, Aaron Rodgers. You're influencing the younger generation out here. Please fix it and be a role model out here, Aaron. Don't you want to be a role model, Aaron Rodgers? Isn't that a little bit of your brand, a role model? Maybe it's not. But you're out here influencing the youth. Kyler Murray, he's Riddler Murray now. Your Riddler is starting to take hold of the league. And hey, every Riddler out there, every aspiring Riddler out there, it doesn't win rings. I know it's flashy. Everybody talks about you. Everybody defends you to the end of the earth and back. You get paid $50 million on your last contract, potentially last contract, one of your last contracts. I know it all looks good, but you don't win the ring. You don't get there. You get people knocking you. Not all sunshines and rainbows. So just keep that in mind. If you want to go down the Riddler route, the Riddler road, you can. It's an option. Y'all can do it. I don't like it. I don't support it. I don't condone it. I don't endorse it. But I do get the appeal of it. The money. The undying loyalty by fans. I get it. I get the appeal. It's just not for me. It's just not for me. The money's for me. Absolutely, the money's for me. Yeah. Meh. But, Kyler Murray. Think about those decisions. But Kyler Murray walks it back big time. Lamar Jackson is going to have to do some walking back. I don't know if he's getting paid, but we did get Lamar Jackson tweeting this today because I think a lot of people were kind of saying the same things, putting the same pieces together. So Lamar Jackson comes out on Twitter today and says, quote, "I love my Ravens. I don't know who the hell putting that false narrative out that I'm having thoughts about leaving. Stop trying to read my mind." All right, we're not reading your mind. You just said, hey, let me hold $1. This isn't us reading your mind. This is us reading what you did. You said, let me hold $1 after John Harbaugh got paid, which is kind of saying, hey, where's my money? Where's my contract? Which is exactly what Kyler Murray did. And it didn't work for Kyler Murray. That's all we're saying. If you're not, if you're happy with the Ravens, absolutely, that's fine. Kyler Murray also said he was happy with the Cardinals on the walk back. Lamar Jackson, little bit of a walk back here. I don't know. I'm happy with the Ravens. I want to get my money, but I'm happy with the Ravens. Also, where's my money? We know he wants his money. Everybody wants to know about Lamar Jackson's money. That's the big story. Where's Lamar Jackson's money? He's a great quarterback. He's winning games. He's getting to the playoffs, consistently winning in the playoffs. Patrick Mahomes got paid. You're not paying Lamar Jackson? People just want to see Lamar Jackson get paid. Lamar Jackson wants to see Lamar Jackson get paid. I want to see Lamar Jackson get paid. Absolutely. I'm all about players getting money. But, yeah, didn't work for Kyler Murray. Didn't work. Had to walk everything back. And I don't think the Cardinals are kind of happy with Kyler Murray at the minute. I think if they were able to move off of Kyler Murray this season, I think they may have. I definitely think they may even more next season after this season ends. Hey, if Kyler Murray doesn't wow us, we'll move off of him. We'll be okay with moving off of him. So Lamar Jackson, it's a game to be played. Absolutely, this is a game. Management. Money, negotiations, it's all a game. Social media, everything being pushed, it's all a game. Lamar Jackson, it's tough to win when it's just you, the player, when you're going against the corporation, the organization, the team, the head coach, the owner, it's all that. It's hard to win. Kyler Murray didn't win. Kyler Murray thought he was going to win, really thought he was going to win. Didn't win. Lamar Jackson, I think you're in a little bit of a better position to win, but you're not guaranteed to win this battle. So if you want to take the battle, absolutely go take the battle. We'll support you. We'll stand behind you. Absolutely. That's your prerogative. But it doesn't always go the way you think. The power of the media is a damn thing, folks. It's a gosh damn thing. It's a big old damn thing. Media's powerful. I'm trying to be a part of the media so we can kind of give power back to the players a little bit more. Players need a little bit more power. Media takes away all that power. We're just trying to be a part of the media to give them the power back. I'm trying to give Baker Mayfield some power back because this man's got no power, and this man may fall into oblivion, fade into oblivion of the league. I got to try to give him some power back. Jimmy Garoppolo. Y'all are about to have Jimmy Garoppolo being fade into oblivion of this league, and that I will not stand for. This is why I got to get my media up. So subscribe and share us and listen to us every single day so we can be in the media zeitgeist, if you will. So, Lamar Jackson, they paid the coach. That doesn't really tell us that things are going well for you over there. But you still got an opportunity to prove yourself, try to get that money, absolutely, and we'll see how it all plays out. So, Lamar Jackson going down the same road Kyler Murray is, potentially ending in the same result. You're not getting paid, and now you have to work double time to get paid. Not great. Alrighty, what else do we got up next here? We are talking the Packers, and Matt LaFleur says the Packers are, quote, definitely need to get some speed at wide receiver. Losing Davante Adams is never good. And this isn't good for both Matt LaFleur and Aaron Rodgers. Not good for Aaron Rodgers because he has to find another receiver to be good with. And now Aaron Rodgers is going to be tested a little bit. It's not going to be that much of a test. I mean, we know Aaron Rodgers is great. So he can probably make any receiver work. I'm not doubting that. But Matt LaFleur, we see him as, a great head coach, a great offensive mind. We really think Matt LaFleur deserves more credit than Aaron Rodgers overall for the success of the back-to-back-to-back 13-3 seasons than Aaron Rodgers does, because this entire Packers team was good. The defense has been good. The offense has been good. Special teams lackluster, we know. But Matt LaFleur is bringing it all together here. So, not having Davante Adams this season definitely kind of goes against Matt LaFleur, goes against Aaron Rodgers, obviously. So Matt LaFleur is saying, hey, we need some speed here. We need some speed on this team. Let's quickly read the entire quote here to truly see what it's saying. But, I mean, that's why you should have just paid Davante Adams. Not try to do the franchise tag, and then when he didn't accept, you lost him from that point on. Once again, it's the game. People hold the power. Davante Adams had options, and he's not going to be playing this bullshit game with the Packers anymore. That's what it is. Once again, that's an example of the player winning and not the team. It's possible. I mean, it's a game to be played, folks. Players versus the team. It's a game to be played. You can play it, and you can play it right. Davante Adams played it absolutely right. And the man got paid. The man got exactly what he wanted, and he got paid. Did we mention that? The man got paid. So you can do it, Lamar Jackson, Kyler Murray. It can work. It's just tough. It's tough. So, Matt LaFleur should have just paid Davante Adams. If you're going to pay for speed, should have just paid to keep Davante Adams, but they didn't do that. Unfortunate. Now they got no Davante Adams. They're looking for speed, and kind of newsflash, there's not that many, wide receivers left out here. Allen Robinson signed. Marquez Valdes-Scantling, you lost him. Russell Gage signed. Cedric Wilson signed. DJ Chark signed. Christian Kirk signed. Tyreek Hill signed. Ty Montgomery signed. Juju Smith-Schuster signed. Matt Collins signed. Zach Poshko signed. I mean, everybody's kind of signed. The free agents, Julio Jones, can't really stay healthy, older. Jarvis Landry, yeah, good number 2. I don't know about a number 1 option that the Packers are kind of looking for. Will Fuller, he can't stay healthy. T.Y. Hilton, I don't know how I feel about T.Y. Hilton, folks. I don't know. Is he still good? Is he still great? Last 4 seasons, haven't played a complete year. Hasn't gotten 1,000 yards. T.Y. Hilton's been great, don't get us wrong. But, So, what are we looking at as options here? Cole Beasley, a slot guy. Emmanuel Sanders, who didn't really do as well as he needed for the Buffalo Bills. And he was only a two option over there because they got, obviously, Stephon Diggs. A.J. Green, who the Cardinals lost the game against the Green Bay Packers solely because A.J. Green couldn't catch the ball. These are the guys you're going to trust. A little bit of aging out of the league, Emmanuel Sanders. Aging out of the league, A.J. Green. They've got Keelan Cole potentially. I wonder if Corey Davis is up for sale. I don't know. I don't know how the Jets feel about him. Deshaun Jackson, who, the Rams got rid of and won a Super Bowl because they got rid of him for OBJ. OBJ's out there. Is he going to go to Green Bay? Aaron Rodgers with OBJ. I don't know if that works. I don't know if their personalities clash. I mean, so what are we looking at here? What are we looking at here? Matt LaFleur? I don't know if it's going to pan out very, very well for you. So, Matt LaFleur, let's quickly read. We got 2 quick quotes here. Let's read the lead-ups here to see what he truly wants to do at wide receiver. So here we go, lead up. Speaking on Tuesday from NFL's annual league meeting in Palm Beach, Florida, Coach Matt LaFleur noted that the club needs to add speed to the remade receiver room, saying, quote, certainly, if you look at our roster right now, we definitely need to get some speed in that room. We need a legit guy that can take off the top of the coverage. We lost a guy that was pretty good at doing that. Next quote, final quote. While trades are one option, the best bet for the Packers is to replenish the wealth at this stage of the offseason is in the draft. They have 2 first-round picks and 2 second-round picks to find talented young players they can groom. Saying, quote, it's like putting a puzzle together. You've got to find those pieces that you're missing and put it all together. How that's going to look at the end, I have no idea right now. So, we're looking at the draft, so that's kind of the big thing that we're going to be focusing in on the draft-wise for the Packers. Hey, get the right guy. We know there's going to be a guy. A guy will pan out wide receiver in this year's draft class, so you better hope you find that guy, Matt LaFleur. You've got 4 opportunities to do so. 2 first-round, 2 second-round picks. Yeah, that's really all you need to find a receiver. So, Matt LaFleur, this is kind of a challenge for you this season. Get the guy, find the replacement for Davante Adams in the draft. Make sure you're scouting well in the draft. Hopefully we can get to see some wide receivers so we can see if Matt LaFleur is making the right decision on who they grab. So, Packers still looking for a wide receiver. Matt LaFleur, good luck, but should have just paid Davante Adams. So, and then we got this today. The Green Bay Packers have been actively calling teams in an attempt to trade for a wide receiver. So, that's what we get. Saying, hey, possibly looking in the draft, also still possibly looking for trades. We just went over some, and we don't know if any kind of truly make the Packers that much better. So, Matt LaFleur, go get it done in the draft. We'll see if he can do it. All right, some more stories to run through. What do we got? We had Desean Watson. He's back in the news here because his deposition just got leaked a little bit. They've got clips of his deposition here. They're being talked about on like Fox News and stuff. So Desean Watson, depositions surfaced, which is never good because according to Drake, his depositions never surfaced. Gold Roses, him and Rick Ross. My depositions never surfaced. Tannenbaum know the logo on the jersey. It's getting purchased. 10 years in and y'all yet to hear my most impressive verses. Paid the cost to be the boss, wasn't even my most expensive purchase, which is, oh my God, what a bar. Trust when I say I'm never on the shit they assuming I'm on. Tales about me are like Corritos and Kulit Khan. Sashimi from Sahito, you know that man, 2 Michelin star. Postcard from Green Bay, sending my most distant regards. Yeah, Drake, his depositions don't get leaked. His depositions never surface. We don't see Drake's depositions on Fox News. So this is not good for Desean Watson because things leak when only one side, one party wants them to leak. Desean Watson cleared through the deposition. The grand jury saw the depositions and said, there's not enough here. Yeah, we don't believe it. We're not charging this man. So, not going to get charged criminally. Maybe some prosecutors, some, people that want to make an example out of Desean Watson want to still knock the man even though he's found innocent in our justice system. A jury said, yeah, there's no evidence here. So, is the other side leaking this to still knock Desean Watson to be like, hey, yeah, they say he's innocent, but, what do you think? This is what today's world is. Hey, what do you think? Everybody's got an opinion. Twitter. Everybody got a say, which is right. I mean, everybody should have a say. Everyone's got their own opinion. Everyone's got their own experiences. Absolutely. But this is what we're doing now. Hey, he's innocent. Okay, you're not going to charge him? Well, here's the depositions. Well, does this look like an innocent person? And there's some questionable things in the deposition, and there's only 2 minutes here in this clip. Talking about Desean, they asked Desean Watson, did you find the masseuse attractive, hot? And Desean was like, I can't answer that. I'm not answering that. I have a girlfriend, first of all. I can't answer that. And second of all, that wasn't my intention. And the guy asking the question, he's like, well, I wasn't saying that wasn't your intention. Did you think she was attractive? And Desean Watson doubled down and be like, I got a girlfriend. I'm not answering this question. That was not so not making Desean Watson look the best doesn't mean he's guilty. No. Just optically, socially, not the best look optically. And y'all love optically. So, Desean Watson, in this, they even said, he went to the masseuse's mother's house with the masseuse. So, not a good look there either. Not saying he's guilty, but it's not a good look. And then he also in this 2-minute clip, you kind of hear hey, you didn't tell the team about this masseuse you were doing? And Desean Watson said no. You didn't tell your trainer about this masseuse that you were going to? And Desean Watson says no. And they're like, was this masseuse trained? Did she have a certification? Did you know kind of her history, her prior experiences? And Desean Watson said no to all that. So they were like, don't you think that's a little weird that you would have so much faith in this masseuse, kind of at your status and all that? So it doesn't make him look good optically. It doesn't make him look guilty. But once again, it's leaked. It's leaked. Now this is out there. It's not a good look for Desean Watson. Once again, there's games being played all around us, folks, and this is part of the game. Oh, you're not going to indict him. Well, here's this. Yeah. This will get people buzzing, people talking. People off this clip will be like, oh, he's guilty. Oh, this proves he's guilty. This will prove he's guilty. This is why it's leaked. Drake's don't leak. Desean Watson's does. Not the best look for Desean Watson. So, not good. I hate this. This should not leak. Absolutely not. I mean, we're talking about criminal justice. I mean, this should not be turned into a circus. This should not be turned into a game. I mean, this is the fundamental of, one of the fundamentals of democracy, one of the fundamentals of, the United States. We cannot make a mockery out of the criminal justice system. And leaking depositions? What are we doing? So, not great there for Desean Watson. His name's back in the news. And now we get this from Roger Goodell, who just spoke yesterday. NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell on the pursuit of Desean Watson saying, quote, we've been very clear with every club, whether the criminal matter gets resolved or not, that the personal conduct policy is very important to us. Yeah, we know how important it is given the previous charges on some not good crimes. Yes. We digress. They understand that's something we're going to pursue. So we knew that the NFL hasn't really done their investigation yet. We always knew. This is going back to last season when y'all were saying the Dolphins were going to get him and throw Tua in the trash. Yeah, we see the quarterbacks y'all love to throw in the trash. Jimmy Garoppolo, Tua. They're both, Tua's the most accurate quarterback in the league. Jimmy Garoppolo's got to a Super Bowl winner. So we know y'all hate proving us. We get it. We get your perspective. But we were going back to this last season, folks. With, we were kind of laying out the timetable. That's kind of why everybody was not trading for Desean Watson, because they're like, hey, this isn't going to get resolved. And they called it pretty perfectly. They kind of said until after the Super Bowl, that would be the earliest we would know anything on Desean Watson. And yeah, here we are knowing something. He's not indicted. The criminal charges kind of going away. So the timeline was correct. Everything was correct that we heard about it. But we did know the NFL was going to wait until all this kind of settled, until the criminal investigations was over. Criminal investigation is pretty much over. Now we're getting the depositions. Is this the NFL leaking the depositions? There's games being played, folks. I mean, let's not be so naive. Okay? So, who's leaking the depositions? Who's got something to gain from these depositions being leaked? And now the NFL maybe wanting to make an example. Desean Watson just got like $240 guaranteed. Like, he got all that money guaranteed. Kind of crazy. So, watch out for Desean Watson, folks. Like, this story, it's not ending. And not ending anytime soon. And we're getting more information by the day. So, we'll see what the NFL does do with Desean Watson. They could still suspend him 1 game, a whole season, half a season, couple of games. So that is still on the table. But we do know that the criminal charges are pretty much over for the most part. But never good when your depositions surface. Drake's don't. Deshaun's do. Which one's more powerful? That's really what it comes down to. Yes, Desean Watson's worth $230 million, but yeah, your depositions still get leaked when you get paid $230 million. Not the most powerful, Desean. That's the overall conclusion, I guess. But we'll see what happens. Truly unfortunate that this happens, and it really, really should not. But Desean Watson's depositions, getting some clips here. Not great. Alrighty, here we go. Let's keep going on here. We can fit a few more stories in. Here we go. New playoff overtime rules. Y'all got your wish. Congratulations. Y'all got the wish. 13 seconds left. Yeah, that means we have to overturn the entire system because your team couldn't close out defensively. The best defensive team in the league couldn't close out 13 seconds. And then they have to go and get Von Miller to close out 13 seconds. And y'all still got your wish. New playoff overtime rules, which y'all been clamoring for. Everybody gets a possession. That's the point of overtime, because it was so close in regulation. We just need a deciding factor. But y'all want to drag out overtime now because your defense, the number one defense in the league, couldn't hold on 13 seconds. This is what happens. 13 seconds. Change all the rules. Okay. That's y'all wish. Y'all got your wish. I don't love it. I have to abide by them now. I don't like it. This is yours. This is kind of yours world. This is your world over there, folks. I'm just living in it. I just see what y'all say. I like to be an outside observer. Okay. Y'all got your wish. Happy for y'all? Y'all happy you got your wish? You bullied the NFL into changing the rule. Are y'all happy now? 13 seconds. Josh Allen, you get the ball. Josh Allen throws a touchdown. Okay, this is how it goes. This is how the new overtime rules go. You ready? Chiefs score a touchdown. Bills score a touchdown. Chiefs score a touchdown. Bills still lose. All right, what's the change next year? Somebody tell me the next change. Everybody gets 2 possessions. 1 possession's not enough. 2 possessions. Let me tell you how 2 possession overtime go. Ready? Chiefs score a touchdown. Bills score a touchdown. Chiefs score a touchdown. Bills score a touchdown. Chiefs score a touchdown. Okay, what happens 2 years from now? Oh, everybody team gets 3 possessions. All right, what happens now? I can tell you what happens now. 4 possessions. Y'all want to know how it goes? Chiefs score a touchdown. Bills score a touchdown. 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 That's 4. Chiefs score a touchdown. What happens now? 5. Every team's guaranteed 5 possessions. Let me tell you how 5 possessions go, folks. Chiefs score a touchdown. Bills score a touchdown. 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 That's 5 possessions. Y'all know what happens? Chiefs score a touchdown. What happens next? Every team's guaranteed 6 possessions. Y'all want to know how 6 possessions go? Here they go. Here it goes. Chiefs score a touchdown. Bills score a touchdown. 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 That's 6 possessions. Y'all know what happens? Chiefs score a touchdown. You know what happens next, folks? 7. Every team's guaranteed 7 possessions. Y'all want to know how 7 possessions go? Chiefs score a touchdown. Bills score a touchdown. 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 That's 7 possessions. Y'all want to know what happens next? Chiefs score a touchdown. All right, every team's guaranteed 8 possessions. Y'all want to keep going? Y'all want me to keep going? Because I will. I will keep going. That's what's going to happen. So the new overtime rules, folks. Both teams will have the opportunity to possess the ball in overtime in the postseason. We told you how that one goes, folks. We win all the way up to 8. Every team gets 8 possessions. Bills, 13 seconds. Can't close it out. Every team gets 9 guaranteed possessions. But both teams will have the opportunity to possess the ball in overtime in the postseason. If the score is tied after each team has possessed the ball, the next score wins. That's why we're saying every team, you get one more possession. If the team kicking off to start the overtime period scores a safety on the receiving team's initial possession, that team that kicked off is the winner. So, basically same rules, just every team gets a possession. So, every team gets a possession. Everybody gets a trophy. The Bills can't close out 13 seconds, but let's reward them with a new overtime rule. All right. Well, I'll see y'all in 4 years when everybody's guaranteed 8 possessions, and we're seeing the clown of the NFL now. Yes? Yes? Congratulations. Y'all got your wish. There it is. There it is. 8 possessions guaranteed by everybody. Should be great. All right. Let's end it. Do we end it here? No, we got to do one more. Two more quickly. And this one's just to talk through just quickly. Jalen Ramsey. He listed his top wide receivers, and we have our top wide receivers. We have Tyreek Hill and Cooper Kupp. We have them both at kind of 1A, 1B. We don't really separate them, but we do have Tyreek Hill and Cooper Kupp. Those are our top 2, and then we probably go Devontae Adams number 3. So that's just how we rank wide receivers, but we got Jalen Ramsey's top receivers, and he said it's a three-person race for the number 1. Devontae Adams, Tyreek Hill, and Deebo Samuel, he lists them at 1A, 1B, 1C. Then he's got OBJ at 4, because obviously 1A, 1B, 1C, 1, 2, 3. Then we got OBJ at 4, Cooper Kupp at 5A, and Stephon Diggs at 5B. So We love Tyreek Hill, and so does Jalen Ramsey, and we have to take, what Jalen Ramsey says, kind of hold it a little elevated just because he is one of the best, corners in the league, so we do have to take his perspective a little bit into consideration here. So, him having Tyreek Hill, 1, and Cooper Kupp kind of like 3-ish. I mean, maybe we should make Tyreek Hill officially our number 1 and Cooper Kupp number 2. So, just interesting right there. We love Tyreek Hill. He loves Devontae Adams. I still have Devontae Adams at like 3. I still put like Tyreek Hill 1, Cooper Kupp 2, and then Devontae Adams number 3. Devontae Adams is great, don't get us wrong, folks, but I love the speed of Tyreek Hill. That's really kind of the main thing for me. So, just interesting. That's what Jalen Ramsey's got. We both have Tyreek Hill as kind of number 1, so I think some vindication there. Yeah. All right, and then the final thing right here, we got to close on this. So, we kind of talked about Jimmy Garoppolo and Aaron Rodgers. We kind of compared them a little bit yesterday on the show. Said I would take right now Jimmy Garoppolo over Aaron Rodgers. They basically have the same stats, same completion percentage, yards. Aaron Rodgers has a little bit more yards. Aaron Rodgers also has about 100 more throws every single season, so yeah. But yeah, we were kind of talking about Jimmy Garoppolo and Aaron Rodgers, and then I posed the question to y'all. And the question was, hey, if you're going to move off of Jimmy Garoppolo, throw him in the trash. Okay, we don't love it, but the man's a winner, proven winner, Super Bowl, NFC Championship game every single season, basically. So, I posed the question, okay, well, if you're going to move off of Jimmy Garoppolo, how many seasons is it going to take for Trey Lance to reach the NFC Championship game? And we have an answer, because I posted the clip on Twitter. Y'all got back to me. I posted the clip. Y'all got to stop throwing Jimmy G in the trash. And then a 7-minute clip from yesterday's show. And then we have a 49ers fan, a Debo Samuel Stan account, still a 49ers fan. He replies to it, says, Jimmy G is not good. I'm sorry. So 49ers fans, they don't like Jimmy Garoppolo. The media doesn't like Jimmy Garoppolo. I think we're the only one going for a bat to Jimmy Garoppolo. You're winning. You're getting it done. I will never knock that, folks. If you're winning, hey, and you're looking good while doing so, that completion percentage, folks, is absolutely fantastic. Like, y'all are overlooking that completion percentage, but we digress on that. So he says Jimmy Garoppolo is not good. Sorry. So I posed the question to him. How many seasons do you think it will take for Trey Lance to get to an NFC Championship game? And hey, we've got an answer, folks. So I'm holding y'all to this. I am holding he speaks for the 49ers fandom. And hey, if you want to speak for the 49ers fandom, get to us on Twitter. That's why we say it all the show, or that's why it's in the description of every single episode. If you want to be a part of the conversation, join Twitter. Join us on Twitter. Tweet me whatever you want. I want to hear what you say. I want to know what y'all say. I love hearing what y'all say. So, I say, how many seasons do you think it will take for Trey Lance to get to an NFC Championship game? And here we have an answer, folks. So, and it's real close. He says 2 years, possibly next year, if Trey Lance is as good as Jimmy Garoppolo. So, we're talking Trey Lance 49ers NFC Championship game this season or next season. Next 2 seasons. Well, whether depending on Jimmy Garoppolo plays this season or not. 2 seasons. It will take 2 years from moving off of Jimmy Garoppolo for Trey Lance to get him to the NFC Championship game. So, we're holding y'all to this. 2 years for Trey Lance. Whenever he starts, clock will tick. 2 years to get to an NFC Championship game. We're holding you to that, and then we'll have the discussion at that point. And I will go in on you at that point, because it's not happening. Trey Lance will never get to an NFC Championship game. He'll probably get to the playoffs because the defense will probably be able to carry him to a playoff wild card, then to get blown out. But Trey Lance will maybe win 1 playoff game his entire career. That's my take. He will win 1 playoff game his entire career. The man's not a good quarterback, and we live and die on that hill. So we have an answer to our question. Maybe potentially 2 years in the making, but we've got time. We'll be here in 2 years, folks. Don't worry about us. Don't worry about little old us. The Nets and the Jazz are still funding us. We'll be around in 2 years, folks. I think we've already budgeted for 2 years. So once again, thank you to the Nets. Thank you for the Knicks earlier this season. Thank you to the Jazz now as well. So yeah, I think we're funded for 2 years. I think we're good. So we'll be here in 2 years. We'll be here. Will you? Will y'all be here in 2 years? 49ers fans, will y'all still be a 49ers fans when you're not getting to the playoffs on a consistent basis? When you want Jimmy Garoppolo back? When you're clamoring for that man back? We'll be here. Will you? We'll see. I'll be here. Jimmy Garoppolo will be here as well. Jimmy Garoppolo will be in the Super Bowl. We'll be here. 49ers, nowhere to be found. We'll see you in 2 years. Alrighty, folks, that's going to do it for us today. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We are back live tomorrow, noon Eastern, to do it all again. Once again, try to clear our shelves. Went super late in basketball. We'll maybe have to set some timers. I think we're going to have to bring out some timers. We're going to have to set some timers. We're going to have to bring out some timers to keep us on track in the NBA because we went an hour. That's way too long. All right, but here we go. We're out of here today. Back tomorrow. Great. talking with you. Great listening, hopefully. So we'll see you tomorrow back here, live noon Eastern. Hope to see you back here. 49ers fans, you're on the clock. 2 years is starting to tick. It's starting to tick. We'll see you then. All right, folks.